So Juanita Bynum decided to tell the congregation that the Lord told her to tell them that 21 of them would give $1,000. $21,000 she was looking for. And this is how this started. She started it with my name, with my baptismal name, Solomon. How dare you put this on my name, Juanita?
Solomon said, when I got through sowing my 1,000 burnt offerings, the Spirit of the Lord asked me, what do you want me to do for you? We got to get on that side of it. Not the side where we always asking God. But we got to get on the side where God asks us.
But see, the funny part about that scripture, God didn't ask Solomon to sow 1,000 burnt offerings. Solomon just did it. So I'm asking Juanita, why are you saying you trying to act like God, but you're asking the people to sow $1,000 in God's name? He never asked Solomon to do this. Solomon just did it. Good questions.
21 people in this building that God said will give $1,000. But I'm going to give you this handkerchief out of my prayer room. And if your breakthrough don't come, you can call me. Because I know what I'm talking about.
I mean, I'm saying, so you want me to give 1,000? Oh, let me unlock for an old handkerchief. I mean, it probably been in there. Your dog been in there chewing that up on, I'm just saying, I don't know. But, and then you in there crying and snotting out prayers to God. So did you snot on my handkerchief? I mean, I don't know if I want a snotted handkerchief. Some people, think that's better though. I mean, I'm just saying, I would rather a clean handkerchief if that was what you were selling.
He said, 21 people come now, wherever you are. He talking to you in this building. $1,000 ain't nothing. $1,000 ain't nothing in comparison to what God's gonna do. I didn't call for buckets yet, y'all.
Why they always want to tell you that $1,000 ain't nothing when they asking you to give it to them? If it ain't nothing, then you don't need it, right? You wouldn't need 1,000 if it ain't nothing. But I'm just saying, this is my problem with prosperity preachers. They always begging for you to give these absorbent amount of monies, but they never teach you how to get to it. They don't ever do no classes, no financial classes on, tax loopholes and how to handle your financials and how to make some money and this and that and other, right? They'll never show you how to get to some money, but they always say they need some money from you. And it ain't nothing when they need what they need from you. That ain't nothing. $1,000 ain't nothing. Come on, give it to them.
There's plans that you have that ain't going through until you make that sacrifice to the Lord.
How my prayers won't make it to the Lord unless I pay $1,000? What yours doing? Why your prayers just get directly to him without you ain't got to pay nothing? I'm just saying, why? How come my prayers require $1,000 to make it to God before yours do?
Stand right here, young man. There's business plans that y'all got. It ain't going through until you make that sacrifice to God.
Listen, I get that a lot of us sacrifice on things that we want in regular life before we sacrifice giving to God, and we're wrong for that. We do need to switch that priority around. But the thing that I don't like about prosperity preachers is that they want to put a price tag on a blessing. They want to act like if you pay this amount of money, then the blessing can be released. You know what I'm saying?
There's promotions that you want. You're not going to get it until you make that sacrifice to God. Line up right here. I know what I'm talking about.
I'm just going to say, it feels like a lot of us on the lower level have been sacrificing a lot to God. I ain't going to say we have or we have not, but I'm just saying, it seems like you may have a little more than us that you could sacrifice to God. And I'm just wondering why God ain't told you to sacrifice for us. Like, God ain't told you to give a couple dollars. I'm just asking these questions that it seems like should be asked. I don't know.
Line up right here. I know what I'm talking about. The Lord said you better come. I'm just a messenger. He said there's 21 of you all sitting here. You put everything else on your credit card. I don't care what vending machine you told you was coming back. What vending table not today.
And real talk, I feel on this because we do, as Christians, spend absorbent amounts of money doing everything else, right? I'm not saying I'm agreeing to what she's asking here, but just in the scheme of things, we buy everything else we want to buy that we ain't supposed to be buying. Liquor, cigarettes, spending money on these ratchet little chicks running around chasing these chicks. You know what I'm saying? Be up down at the strip club, losing your mind, throwing too much money. You know you was down there. You wasn't supposed to be. Deacon, we know we didn't see you down there, okay? Throwing money you shouldn't have been throwing. We ain't gonna ask no questions. Glitter all on your face the next day at church. We be like, we buying food, we buying, you grilling up lobster tails on Facebook and all of that, right? But when it comes time to get a God, we get a little stingy. I'm just saying, I'm not agreeing to what she's asking here, but I do admit that as Christians, we do find reason to spend a lot of money on a lot of other things that we want. And we tend to leave God on the back burner as far as our financials, as far as even giving anything to the church. You know what I'm saying? So once again, I'm not agreeing to what she's asking here, but we do know that we do this.
There's pastors that God want to open doors for you. He don't want you to rent. He wants you to own your own building. But you got to make that sacrifice. Who is he talking to? Who is he talking to? Older and younger.
He could be talking to some people in the crowd, but he also could be talking to you, Juanita. I'm just saying, I don't know why prosperity preachers often ask people in the congregation to sacrifice when the people in the congregation have significantly less. But then you have pastors who are flying on jets, private jets, and living this luxurious lifestyle, and yet they never hear a message from God that asks them to sacrifice, to give to people, to help people come up out of these broken places that they are in financially. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see why God can always ask the congregation to sacrifice, but he's not asking these pastors to do the same thing. They'll never hear that side of the message.
There's doors that you won't open. There's some people sitting in this church that's been praying for things for your church. You're the one that's called to make this sacrifice for your church. Come now. I know you in here because the prophecy don't lie. The Spirit of the Lord don't lie. The Spirit of the Lord don't lie. The Spirit of the Lord don't lie. He's not a lying spirit.
And so she say the Spirit of the Lord don't lie, but we do know people do. We do know people, and many preachers have lied in the name of the Lord. So I'm just going to say, when have Jesus asked somebody for $1,000 to get a blessing? I mean, from the scripture, as far as what I can tell, and I'm not the best Bible scholar there is, but Solomon gave 1,000 burnt offerings, and then God was like, you know, in so many words, what thank you. What can I do for you? Right? But I can't remember a time that Jesus was about to do a miracle and was like, come on, let me get that $1,000 for you. You know, I'm going to let you see, but I'm going to need that 1,000 first, though. We need 1,000 shekels out your pockets. I don't know what they had as far as currency back then. Was it shekels? I don't know, but I'm just saying, if I had to guess, using my spirit of discernment, I would guess that Juanita is speaking on her own instead of speaking for God in this situation right here.
21 people in here. If God wasn't talking, nobody would have moved. He said 21 people in this building. That's what he means. He said 21 people in this building. How do I know God is talking to me? Because you got it. That's how I know God is talking to you. Because it's in your account right now. Because it's on your credit card right now. That's how I know God is talking to you.
And you know who else got it? Juanita Bynum. As do a lot of these other prosperity preachers. They preach a lot of prosperity when it's time for the people, the broke people in the church, to give to them. But I don't see, and I'm not in these people's financials and what they do and how they give, but I don't see them, if they live in luxury lifestyles as they live and flying private jets and all this type of stuff, then obviously you're probably not giving the way that Jesus would have gave. So how come these pastors and preachers don't hear from God when it comes time for them to give unto the world? You know, but they keep hearing from God when it's time for the broke people to give to them.
Well, I ain't never gave that before. You know what? In order to get something you ain't never had, you got to do something you ain't never did. Who is God preaching to? Who is God preaching to? Well, how do I know God is talking to me? How do I know God is talking to me, Dr. Bynum? Because the devil should be talking to you too. The devil should be telling you why you shouldn't do it. The devil should be giving you excuses as to why you shouldn't give that kind of money.
It's an obvious joke that need to be made here, but I'm not going to do it today. I'm not going to be that type of Christian today. But listen, she is making a good point here. It's a lot of things that the devil sit on our shoulder and get us to give to ungodly things. You know what I'm saying? We give our money a whole lot of places, but get a little stingy when it comes to the church. And these things cost money. It costs money to run a church and keep things going and pay people on payroll. I just think, it gets absorbently out of hand with some of these prosperity preachers. But yeah, we can give unto God a little bit more than we do. But I just don't think this is the manner in which to do it. $1,000 a month, I think these prosperity preachers are getting a little bit out of hand. But this your boy P. Kemp. You tell me what you think, what you don't think about it. Get at your boy.